The multiverse has taken over everything in modern sci-fi, whether it's Loki holding reality together with a string and trauma, or Vigilante becoming besties with, well, himself. Every franchise has dipped its toes into the concept of the multiverse, and Power Rangers is no exception. From 1993 all the way to the year 3016, this is the Power Rangers Multiverse fully explained. We'll start with the backbone of the franchise, the Prime Timeline. And this is where almost every season of the show takes place. It begins with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, 5 teens with attitude recruited by a floating blue head to fight Rita Repulsa. The era runs through Alien Rangers Zeo, Turbo, and In Space, where Zordon dies in one of the wildest season finales ever, blasting away evil across the universe and closing the Zordon era in a dramatic fashion. And then we have the rest of the Saban-owned era. Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed Rescue, Time Force, and Wild Force, all still within the Prime Timeline. Time Force technically did mess with the timeline for a little bit and change it, but then they course corrected it, so we'll ignore that. Then Disney jumps in with Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder, SPD, Mystic Force, Operation Overdrive, and Jungle Fury. SPD came out in 2005 and takes place in 2025, but it's still within the Prime Timeline. Neo Saban brings Samurai, Megaforce, and Ninja Steel, and Hasbro brings Beast Morphers, Dino Fury, and Cosmic Fury. All of which in the Prime Timeline. But the fun begins when the timelines start branching, Avengers Endgame style. Same beginning, different end. This is where Power Rangers RPM comes screaming in, Mad Max style. RPM was meant to be the final season of Power Rangers, literally with that world getting destroyed by the evil Venjix virus. And the wild part is, at the time, the show was implying that all previous seasons happened. All those Rangers just gone. Like, franchise over, like that deep. Until ownership was changed and RPM was retconned into an alternate universe, with tiny hints like Jungle Karma Pizza and Operation Overdrive's helmet still showing the history used to match up in that timeline. So everything was the exact same up until about 2009. RPM timeline branched off and the main timeline kept going. Then in 2015, Dino Charge created its own timeline by preventing the extinction of dinosaurs. So now we technically have 2 Dino Charge timelines, one where the dinos die and one where they're chilling with humans in the present day. It's less of a branching timeline from the main universe because the Dino Charge Rangers technically don't exist in the main universe, but it's sort of 2 separate Dino Charge timelines that sort of like high five in the middle. And yet RPM and Dino Charge still connect with the Prime Timeline. The Red RPM Ranger hops universes to help the Samurai Rangers in 2012. In 2018, the Blue Dino Charge Ranger and Silver RPM Ranger crash land into the Prime Timeline in Dimensions in Danger. Ninja Steel's Blue Ranger visits the Dino Charge world. And in Power Rangers Beast Morphers, Grid Battle Force directly communicate and visit and interact with people from the RPM and the Dino Charge timelines. Oh, and in Cosmic Fury, Heckle straight up jumps from the Dino Charge timeline to the Cosmic Fury timeline. Bro's just on an intergalactic road trip. It's a lot of fun. And actually, speaking of Beast Morphers, some fans actually believe the Beast Morphers universe to be a separate universe because when Jason appears for the crossover, he comes through what we would know as a multiversal portal. But Dino Fury and Cosmic Fury's events, interacting with the Mighty Morphin Rangers and the Beast Morphers Rangers, does prove that Beast Morphers takes place in the Prime Timeline. Those portals can just travel through space too, not only universes, so crisis averted. Hello, I'm Nate from a different part of the multiverse. You should subscribe. Do it. Okay, back to the other Nate. If I were to be in the Power Rangers main universe, right? With
Yes.
Billy and stuff. And then Billy turned to me and he goes, I've got a multiversal portal. I can go to any universe. Would you consider to be canon in the Power Rangers multiverse Henshins and Pirates?
Henshins and Pirates? Yeah, fuck yeah. Henshins and Pirates is such a cool world. And there's planets you could travel to, so yeah, of course. There's all these different creatures, aliens and stuff. Yeah. Why? I'm scared.
So, first link in the description, Henshins and Pirates, go check it out. First 2 episodes are already out. And
Yo!
Episode 3 maybe being filmed this week.
Maybe being filmed this weekend. Maybe they get to Henshin for the first time.
No spoilers. And now we get Hyperforce. This online RPG series is officially set in the year 3016 and is canonically a sequel to Time Force. Some fans dismiss it because it's a tabletop RPG series and ties into certain comic book arcs, but honestly, it's far in the future. It's a future none of us are ever gonna see. It doesn't really affect much. So whether you consider it to be part of the prime timeline 30 or 1,000 years down the line, whatever, it doesn't make much of a difference. So we have the main timeline, we have branch timelines, we have separate timelines, now we have parallel timelines. Similar origins, different stories. The 1995 MMPR movie, parallel universe. The 2017 movie, parallel universe. The original unaired pilot, parallel universe. Same Rangers, different suits, different command center, different Rita Repulsa career path, you get the idea. I also like to imagine VR Troopers and Beetleborgs living somewhere amongst this category, since we see Ranger helmets and reused suits in both. I mean, yes, it was a real world budget decision, but in multiverse logic, they're totally just chilling in universes parallel to the prime timeline. Then you have the comic books. These are multiverse crazy, and they fit like all the categories. There's some in prime timeline, there's some in alternate timelines, parallel timelines, branch timelines. It gets ridiculous. Dozens of alternate worlds, timelines, and versions of the Rangers, including the world of Power Rangers Prime, which, despite the name, isn't prime timeline at all. It's completely separate. There are many comics and one-shots, but for the main ones, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is a parallel timeline. Go-Go Power Rangers, parallel. Mighty Morphin, parallel. Power Rangers, parallel. Ranger Academy, parallel. Unlimited, parallel. The Return is kind of a branch, but also parallel. Power Rangers Prime is parallel, and Soul of the Dragon is believed to be prime, but could also be considered prime parallel branched. And I mean, everything that spans Shattered Grid is anything but prime. It is branched, parallel, there's probably new categories as well. There's a lot of multiverse stuff happening in Shattered Grid. These comics even imply Super Sentai exists somewhere out there in the multiverse, maybe not connected to the Morphin Grid, but still part of the greater cosmic map of Ranger reality. And speaking of the Morphin Grid, Dino Fury reveals that this thing is basically the god tier energy field that spans every universe. We see the Morphin Masters create Ranger powers in the Prime timeline and the Dino Charge timeline, proving the grid is a multiversal constant. Which, if you think about it, means the multiverse truly is infinite. So yeah, VR Troopers? Sure. Ninja Turtles? Yeah. The Ninja Turtles from the Next Mutation even canonically appear in the Prime timeline, and in the comics, we've had crossovers with the Ninja Turtles, the Justice League, and even Cobra Kai. It gets messy, but it's also kind of awesome. We have fan films which you could consider to be part of the bigger multiverse if you wanted to, but then there are some grey areas that actually have actual actors from the show in them, and I'm not even talking like Crimson Vision Studios, I'm talking like official kind of fan project, which I guess wouldn't be called fan projects at that point. But stuff like the Power Rangers Street Fighter crossover film they made, like that exists somewhere in the multiverse, which ties into a game directly, which also lives somewhere in the multiverse, as do I guess other Power Rangers games. I mean, Power Rangers Rita's Rewind is technically a parallel timeline and a branch timeline. It's parallel due to the fact that it's all 8-bit and a video game, but also it does follow the same 30-year events as the show, right up until Rita opens the time portal, in which case her plan is successful and she does go back in time. So yeah, kind of a hybrid of parallel timeline and branch timeline. Other than that, the only other element to really discuss are dimensions, like the Dark Dimension from MMPR and the Netherworld in Samurai. For the most part, these still exist in the Prime timeline. They're just like little pocket universes within the main universe. And hey, there's a new style of Power Ranger show in the works with 20th Century Studios. Is that going to be a different timeline? Parallel universe? Branch timeline? Or are they even going to fit it into the Prime universe? Who knows where that fits in this expanded multiverse? But anyway, that is the Power Rangers Multiverse explained. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. Comment the words Morphin Multiverse down below so I know who made it to the end and who didn't. Huge thank you and shout out to Sarah Jane, Eric Leutz and Sam James, our Super Dino Mode patrons.